video is going to be a bit hither and thither. It's been raining all week and I'm trying to sort of catch up on things that I've been wanting to do all week, such as making a homemade compost bin, and more on that in a few minutes, and get my green stalk planted right there behind me. But best laid plans and all that. Hang on for a minute. So I came out yesterday and decided just to pull all of my sad little bean and pea plants, because it's time to start fresh for fall. And I noticed all of these little flying creatures here. And my first thought was Fungusgnats. And I think that could well be what they are. But I'm gonna have to take apart the green stalk and look at the soil and see if I see any little larvae, and then figure out what to do. Because I have learned each fungus gnat represents 300 potential fungus gnats. They can lay 300 eggs per adult fungus gnat. So I don't know if they were the reason my plant started looking so peaked, or if it's just that it was kind of the end of their season, and they were petering out anyway. But before I plant anything new in the green stalk, I'll see if I can treat the soil in the green stalk with soil nematodes, if I find that there is indeed evidence of fungus gnats in my green stalk. Meanwhile, here in the garden, like I said, it's been raining all week, but I think I'm ready to just let some things go. Down here, you can see a pepper, my poor little pepper that I showed you in the last video, either got knocked off by a critter, or maybe the rain just beat it down. Oh, look. Okay, that was a lovely little interlude with a hummingbird. They've been coming by very regularly and landing on that tomato cage right there before checking out what's in the bloom in the garden, which is not a whole lot right now, but they're finding some things. Anyhow, I'm just feeling a little burnt out with the tomatoes. We've had so much rain, and if you look closely, you can see that these tomatoes are starting to split. These are my Tiger Tom. And we have a whole nice little cluster growing down here, but I think I might go ahead and pull those and see if I can ripen them inside. This Sweet Scarlet is doing okay, but basically it's one tomato. Now it's teasing me with some blossoms up top, but at this point I'm not really optimistic, because this, I think this is also a Sweet Scarlet. It's one of the allegedly a determinate variety. It's got that potato leaf. You know, I feel like it should have had a ton of tomatoes on it, but the blossoms have been dropping off. I don't know if you can see right there. You just see these little tips. You can see those tips are naked where the blossoms have dropped off. Yeah, it's kind of disappointing. The carbon tomatoes are hanging in there, but on the other side, those two in the back, also starting to look a little haggard. In other garden news, I decided to finally make my own compost bin, because we have a small yard and you know, everything is relatively close to the house. I was really reluctant to have a compost bin and throw kitchen scraps in it. I currently use a composting service where they collect our bucket every week, and I get credits toward bags of compost, which is pretty great because I can put any kind of compostable items in there. Whereas with my home compost that I want to have available to garden with as needed, I'm going to limit that to fruit and vegetable scraps and coffee grounds and filters, and of course brown waste, yard waste. It's a blue jay or something. So this is a very simple design, and I got the idea from a video by Callie Kim, and I will link that video below. Really easy, made with hardware cloth, and she uses T-post, and I only found U-post. I'm, to be honest, not sure if those are the same thing. They look like the same thing. The problem being, for me, is that the most convenient corner of my yard is tucked behind this very large maple tree. And actually, I think it would be good for the maple tree to have some nice organic material kind of around it, not right up to the base of the tree, but a bit of a mulch radius. But there are a lot of roots. Well, there she is. Not much to look at. And it's supposed to be 3 by 3, which is apparently the ideal size for hot composting and turning over your compost quickly. But as you can see, mine's more like a 3 by 1.5. My stakes are not all the way in. Those little wings are supposed to be actually in the ground. And I have to go by and put a few more zip ties on it, cut off the ends of those. Yeah, not much to look at, but it will serve its purpose. And I have a funny story for you in a few minutes. I'll get to that. And this is my version of the latch to keep it closed. Okay, it's not exactly closed, but I can refine that. And I don't know who I'm trying to keep out of it. Rabbits, I guess. All right, the dog, that's it. To quote my friend Cheryl, start a garden, they said. It'll be fun, they said. Oh, the view of the garden is kind of nice from the compost bin. I've never really appreciated that. That funny story I mentioned, I went back and forth so many times on whether to get like a pre-built compost bin that I kind of screw together, or make one like the low-tech solution that I ended up building over there in the corner of the yard, or doing this super easy compost sack by Smart Pots. And this is something I also learned about from Callie Kim, and you know, it looked like a reasonable solution for somebody who doesn't have a lot of space, and who wants their composting to be as tidy as possible. If you watch the video with Callie Kim, which I'll link below, it's a series of composting videos that she made, and in one of them she responds to a viewer question about how you turn the compost in the compost sack, and it is a workout, but it can be done, and she demonstrates how you can do that. And this is what it looks like unfolded, kind of like just a giant grow bag. I thought, worst comes to worst, I can always cut it down and just use it as a big grow bag. But same material, and you can fold down the tops while you're loading it, and then fold it closed when you want the compost to start doing its work, or we want the pile to start doing its work. Made in the USA, that's nice. By the time I got around to picking up materials to build my hardware cloth and U-post compost bin, I forgot that I actually went ahead and ordered the compost sacks. So they arrived, you know, literally the day after I started constructing the the other compost bin. But, you know, I'll use them. It's all an experiment, right? Right. So that's about all I have for today. I think that's probably quite enough. I'll report back on how the compost is going and what I decide to do about those as yet to be identified definitively insects around my green stalk. And, you know, we'll take it from there. Hope you all have a great week. Bye. That's it. I have had it with you. I do everything for you and you don't do a thing for me. Would it kill you to give me a tomato or two? Once a week. That's all I'm asking. I'm sick of it. I'm done. I am so sorry. I didn't mean those things I said. You know, I love you. I just wanted a tomato sandwich so badly. I promise I'll take good care of you. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna make you cry. Never gonna run around and hurt you. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna say goodbye. Never gonna tell a lie.